So I will tell some of the scenarios which have worked on SSIS so that you can correlate them to Databricks or Data Factory also. So right now we have all insurance data, and we have data in we have data in SQL Server. Now they are in the process of migrating the whole data to the Delta Lake of Databricks. I think you all can understand what is Delta Lake and all, right? So they're in the process of migration. So I'm a part of in a project. I'm a part of migration project, and I'm part of development of SSIS project also. Like already they have some SSIS packages already installed, already done by around 3 to 4 years back. So they have some upgradations. So the source would be for one project, they're getting data from SFTP. So now they are changing the one SFTP version to one more SFTP version. That means they're updating their WinSAP. So in SSIS, we are trying to connect to that new version, and we are getting data from that, and we are doing some data manipulations, that is cleaning of data, and then we have some tables and we are loading it to the SQL Server.
In SSI, you are doing exercise project, right? Which tool you are using? Visual Studio?
Yeah, in Visual Studio, I'm using SSIS. Yes.
Okay. Studio, you are connecting to SFTP servers.
Yes, I'm connecting to SFTP servers. Already we have
Okay.
existing version. Now they are changing into new version.
Okay.
So at one time they wanted data from both the versions. Like they have some insurance policies, and they are collecting the surveys from their customers. Like there are some brokers in our company who will be answering the customers calls and answering the queries about the insurance policies and all. So they will send a survey to the customers regarding the feedback of the callers, how the brokers are dealing with them. Are they attending them properly, or are they not attending them properly? How is the feedback, whether they're satisfied or not? So we have invitations and we have responses. So three files are being the third party tool is, there is one tool application called there is one third party application. So what they will do, they will send these invitations and the feedback of the data from the customers to us through SFTP. So I grab the data from SFTP and they clean the data. That is, I will check if they have any spaces or null values. If there are any spaces, I'll remove the spaces. And if there are null values, then we will replace it with some default values.
Cleaning you will done in which by using which tool?
SSIS only.
SSIS only. Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, we can do cleaning in SSIS.
cleaning also. So in
Yeah.
our company, we have rights to create tables. So what
Oh.
I will do with the destinations according to the data, like we have analytics team. I'm into technology team, and we have one more team called analytics team. So they are producing the Power BI reports. So
Through
according to
SSIS,
the, pardon me.
through using SSIS and building cubes or a tabular model.
No, 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 no. Please listen. So we have analytics team. So they need some column, like they need the data. They will tell us how they need the data, like what are the columns which they require and all. So according to that, what we will do is, first we will create a tables. We have right to create tables. In some companies there will be DBS. They will create the tables and all, but in our company, like there is no DBS such, like we can create tables and we can do deployments by ourselves only. We don't have a deployment team. So what we are doing is we are creating tables, and from SSIS, we are source is SFTP. We're getting data. We are doing data cleaning, and then our destination is SQL Server. So we are pushing the data to the SQL Server tables. You understood, right, till here?
Yeah.
So after that, suppose we are pushing the data into some 4 to 5 tables or 10 tables. After that, what we will do, like for analytics team, according to their requirement, we are creating views on those tables. So from that view, they are generating Power BI reports. So they will give us like details, like what are the columns they require and what all they need, and also from these 5 to 10 tables, we are joining those tables, we are aggregating the data, we are grouping the data, and using all that such sort of things, and we are creating a view for them directly. This is the role of a data engineer in the company. So those people will generate the Power BI reports through that view. So after creating this SSIS package and pipeline, we will deploy it into the SQL server to the integration catalog. I think you all have idea, right? SSIS. So to that integration catalog to SSIS DB, I'm deploying those packages, and I will create a job and schedule a job daily. So analytics team will tell us when to schedule because they will have a Power BI refresh every day at their time. What the Power BI will do, the view which is created by us, they will every day the Power BI reports get refreshed according to the view created. So when will the view be? We have one store procedure which runs background. Through the store procedure, that view will be updating every day. You got it right till here?
Yeah.
So this job also every day we have particular time which will be given by the analytics team, and the scheduled time will be very much before to the Power BI refresh. So the pipeline, for suppose they have a Power BI refresh at every day 7 o'clock in the morning. So we will schedule a job at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, so that these SSIS packages will run at the server, and they will be updating the tables, destination tables. They will take the data from SFTP and they will dump into the SQL Server tables, and they will be stored procedure running. That also we will have an SSIS package, and if we run that package, like we are deploying it to the job, if we run that package, the stored procedure will run and it will update the view daily. And at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, when Power BI refresh is there, they will get the fresh data. So the business people can view the Power BI dashboard, and they can do their own analysis. So this is how it goes in a company. So this is the one of the project I'm doing. I did already did, and I had one more project. Like we are getting data from third party database. Yeah, yeah, Shivram, tell me.
Yeah, Susheela, so what's the tool you're using for pipelines? Is it Azure Data Factory only or any other different tool you're using?
Like this is what I'm using SSIS.
Okay, to schedule pipelines also you're using SSIS?
No, in SSIS we have packages. These packages will be deployed into the SQL server, and in the SQL server we can create a job and we can do that. The same scenario you can do if the interview is about data factory. Same scenario you can convert it into the data factory. Like you
Yeah,
can tell them that you're grabbing data from SFTP, and you can tell them that you're creating views. Even in the data factory, also you can do all the data cleaning, and you can join the tables, and you can aggregate the data, and according to that, you can create the
yeah,
data view required as the analytics team.
yeah,
So same scenario you can map to that.
yeah,
If you're having a Databricks interview, the same scenario you can map to Databricks also. Because in Data Factory also you can schedule a job daily. In
yeah,
Databricks also you can schedule a job daily. At the end of the day, the Power BI takes the data from the, like if they can, Power BI can take data from, suppose if you're using Data Factory, then destination would be Azure SQL. And Power BI can get the data refreshes from Azure SQL. Even I think Power BI can also get the data from Databricks too.
yeah, it can.
So in this way, you can relate the core and the scenario. But this is what the scenario is, and in these we do some data validations also.
Okay. Like what are data validations you
Data validations means like as I said, we were having before one version of SFTP, and they are upgrading it to other version. So in this upgradation, what the requirement of the client is, they need the format in the same way. They need to have the so if suppose 11.6 is the version, how many number of columns are there, and what are the data types of the columns? The same number of columns should be there, and the data types also should be saved for new version. So they will send the data. Suppose if I dealt with 5 types of files, so they will send me 5 types of files in 11.6 version, and 5 types of files in, suppose if they're upgrading to 13.5 version, they will send the files of 13.5 version of files. So what I will data validations, what I will do, I will check all the column names. I had some 50 to 100 columns in each file. So what we will do, we will copy all the column names and put in the Excel, and we will compare whether column names are same or not. That is what I did as data validation, because they need to have the same number of columns and same column names. For me, what happened, there were some 10 extra columns in the new file, which were not there in the old file. But the analytics team does not need the data from 10 extra columns. So while doing the mappings in whether in SSIS or data factory, you can delete those columns in the mappings, which are not required. Suppose if they say if they need any extra columns, then what you need to do, you need to go to the SQL server, you need to update your tables with the 2 extra columns, and also you need to update the stored procedures also. Because the stored procedure is used to update the view, right? So you need to update the stored procedure. In the interview, they will ask what is the toughest situation you face. You can tell this. I got a scenario where the client needed extra columns. So I updated my tables using quality table statement, and also I updated my stored procedures. The stored procedure was about 100 line stored procedure. So you need to understand the 100 lines of stored procedure, and there you need to update the table like a columns. You need to identify in which statement there isn't the column names, new column name. You need to update the stored procedure. Understood right till here?
Yeah, Susheela.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, Srinivas, tell me.
Hi, Susheela. This is Srinivas.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. I'm Chandra's friend. Chandra told me a lot about you
Yeah,
regarding your hard work and everything.
okay.
When I said that I have a call with you, he told me about you. So my question is, what was the toughest situation you faced while doing a data migration?
Like data migration right now, we are in the initial stage. Like what is happening is we have a Databricks
Mhm.
and we have Git DevOps, and we are doing coding not in Databricks, but we are doing coding in Visual Studio.
Okay.
So we deploy the extensions, and there we are doing coding, and using some PowerShell commands, we are committing it to the GitHub, so that the code will be deployed into the Databricks and also to the GitHub. I mean Git DevOps. Sorry.
Okay. So, మీరు
Right.
Linux. So, have you learned Linux also?
Pardon me?
Have you also learned Linux?
No, I didn't learn Linux.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
learn Linux, but just we have some 5 to 10 commands which are given by the company.
Okay.
Now they are migrating. They have given training for us for 1 month training. So we have a documentation of what are the commands and what are we doing in migration. So if you have any doubts, I can go back to the document and I can read and I can do. So
Okay.
getting 3 layers in Databricks, like a bronze layer, silver layer, and gold layer. So as I said, we have tables in SQL Server. So we are getting data from SQL Server, and each table will be in a form of a data frame. So that is a silver layer. And after that, we are aggregating we are cleaning the data and we are aggregating the data. That will be the golden layer. And the final and that is silver layer, sorry. And the gold layer is the view which the analytics team want to for the Power BI. So that is
Okay.
the gold layer. Again, we are doing some conversions and aggregating the data, and then we are putting it to the golden layer. That is right now we are doing for migration, and we schedule a job for that. So we didn't go till the golden layer. Still, we are working on silver layer. Bronze is completed.
Okay. Okay, Sushila.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So data validation, you understood, right? How they do?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
it seems to be simple, but at the real time, you will have 100 to 200 columns. So each column name you need to compare. And what I did is I learned Excel. So I used the formula, and we can use the formula or we look up and do. So Excel also helps. Basic Excel, it will be a great help after going into company, because frequently you will use VLOOKUPs, and frequently you will use lot of formulas in Excel.
Okay. So, how do you check for different column names in the by Excel through?
Yeah, by Excel, actually, what how do you check means what I did is we can use the formula like equal to, and after equal to, if we can just select the column A and then each column A is equal to column B, then the output is true. So if you do that formula, you'll get most of the columns true. But what happens sometimes, the column, the way the columns are written, they're upside down. Suppose here the column name is name, here column name is first name. In the other file, the column name, first name is not then third position, it is then 10 position. So in that time, it fails. It will give false value. Out of 100 columns, 30 to 40 columns gives true values. That is, 30 to 40 columns are matching. But we cannot say the 60 column names are not matching. In that time, what we need to do is we need to use VLOOKUP. So that it will check that column name in the first column, whether it's matching any of the columns, second one. So in
Okay.
that way, it will be useful because 100 to 200 columns, you can't keep on checking manually. It will take hell lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And data validation means you can also tell, like after uploading the file into SQL, you will get the input file. So you can compare the input file and the result data set in SQL Server. It is like unit testing you're doing. You can check around 10 to 20 rows, whether they are in the same format and whether the data is same or not. That you can tell as unit testing.
Okay. Okay, Susheela. And how do you do data governance in the
Data
real?
governance, I don't have idea, Srinivas.
Okay,
Don't
Susheela.
do data governance right now. Like there is one more team. Like I don't do. I'm a junior in the company.
Okay. I just wanted to know how they usually do in real time in companies, how they do that.
Yeah, this is what they do. And one more scenario also, what you can tell is now I told input data is SFTP. Now we are migrating data and we are getting data from linked servers. Like
Mhm.
third party, there will be a remote server. So directly you can't go and from SSIS or from Data Factory or from Databricks, directly you don't have right to connect to the third party servers. So what they will do, the third party server, they will create a user with the password. And in
Mhm.
the local company, what they will do, they will create a linked service. Linked service means the relation between our database and the third party database.
Database
So they
connection.
will create a linked server, and at our end also, they will create a user. So user ID and password. So what they need to do, the third party database, they need to map the user created by our company, and they created one user at their end. So he needs to map us to that particular user. Got it right?
Yes, yes, yes.
If you map like that, then only we have rights to that, and they will give only read only rights. We
Only
can't
read.
do updations, we can't do anything, we can't do any manipulations. We get a read only rights. So in that way, they will map us to that particular server. So using the user ID password of with the sequence of authentication, we can they will get a server name also, linked server name. So like that, I can connect to the third party remote server. Right now, I'm pulling the data from third party remote server and
Mhm.
doing data feed to the destination tables. There are some 15 to 20 tables. So I push the data to that. And out of that, I'm creating 3 tables for analytics team. So there are 3 more pipelines, SAS pipelines, where I will do the aggregations, and there are some stored procedures actually, because data is getting incrementally loaded. So how
Okay.
to incrementally load? In SSIS, we have a task called execute SQL task. That is one of the transformation. So if we need to take that, and in that we need to give the stored procedure name which we created in SQL Server. In that stored procedure, what do we have? We will have the merge command. I think you all know, right? What is merge?
Yes.
If you have any updates, if it's a new record, if destination source are matching, then if you have any updates, it will update the records. If you don't have that matching, then it will insert. That's the update. That is the merge command. So we are using the merge commands and stored procedures, and daily the job is running and it's incremental load. That is what we do. That is what we're incrementally loading the tables, destination tables daily. And after that also we have 2 more stored procedures which it will update data to the 3 tables which are used by the analytics team.
Okay.
And the analytics team, what they will do, they have their own job running. They will create the final one destination view. And that will be used by them to create a Power BI reports and Power BI refresh. They have their own job for the updating, incremental loading of those 3 tables and Power BI refresh.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, Sushi.
Yeah.
Sushila, I have a question. It seems like you all the time you work on CSV files only, right?
Yeah, one project I worked on CSV files, and one project I worked on a remote server database.
Mm-hmm. And what was the format of files?
It was CSV only.
Okay, okay, okay. And how do you come into contact with the data analyst team, analytics team?
A
How do you
data
communicate with them?
data listing, we have like we communicate to them through mails, or we have meetings with them sometimes. If we have any doubts, or if we need to some clarify, then we can set up team meetings with them, or we can directly chat. For us, we will have meetings with them initially regarding the requirements. They will explain us why, what, and all. If we have any more doubts, and we can schedule a meeting with them. If they have time, they will accept it. Otherwise, I will approach them to Teams and ask them.
Okay, so you don't get user stories like uh, if analytics team needs something, they provide it to your manager and he'll assign you. It is not like
Yeah.
that, right?
No, it is like that. Like, what is the thing is, we have Zendesk. There is a tool called Zendesk. It is like a Jira tool only. So they will send a request in that. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
want this change need to happen. So after they get the request generated, they will set up meetings, and like they will tell the requirements and all. So
Mm-hmm.
according to those requirements only, we do the job.
Okay. And do you guys have any uh, time limit or any you can
Yeah,
say
we do have timelines.
yeah timeline?
Actually, we're not following Scrum. Ours is
Mm-hmm.
PMO, and we are upgrading it to Scrum. So we are maybe next year we are going to Scrum. Right now, it's in a PMO mode.
Okay,
So
okay,
what
okay.
they will do is they will give us a timeline. Like while what we have is we have some UAT feeds and we have some live feeds. In UAT feed, they will give some dummy data to see whether their store processes are working or not, whether the SSIS pipelines are working or not. We need to see. But for testing, we have some time. So what we will do is we will create some test tables, and I deploy the SSIS packages, the test tables as destination, and I
Mhm.
will feed the data test tables. What the analytics team will do, they will check the views whether they're getting the data properly, or is it okay for their Power BI reports. After my testing is done, unit testing, and their unit testing is done. Again, what I will do, I will deploy one more set of SSIS packages with production tables, and
Mhm.
they will give a heads up that okay, today is November 3rd, testing they will give for 10 days. After 10 days, November 15th, we are providing a live data feed. At that time, we will get the live data. So I will
Okay.
repoint my SSAS packages to production tables, and the live will go. Live data will go to production tables. That
Okay.
is how it's going here. Usually we have testing team, development team,
Mhm.
companies, deployment team also. Right now, ours is small company. So they
Mhm.
don't have different environments in different teams. We developers only are testing, and we are deploying and all.
Okay. So you have just data engineers and analyst team, right?
We have data engineers team, and we have analytics team.
Okay, okay, okay.
We have testing team too, but they right now they're not testing SAS packages. They are testing Databricks and all.
Okay. And what type of third party tools you use, like apart from Databricks?
Right now we're using third party tools. Means we have a tool called Epic, like that is used by the brokers, not by us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have in our team, some people are preparing SSRS reports.
Pardon, which one?
SSRS reports,
Okay,
SSRS.
okay, 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 okay.
So they have SSRS actually, so they're migrating to Power BI.
Okay, and if there is a case like you don't know about that technology, do they provide any KT videos or something like that?
Like if you don't like, actually what is Databricks, they have given us some training.
Okay.
So as they're migrating for the first time, even managers need some knowledge on that. So what they
Mhm.
have done is they have given a training for us. Like I was not present for the training, but they recorded it's one day, like 4 to 5 hours of video, and they will give some assignments. So when I went to the company, the training is already complete for them. So as a part of training, we have some mandatory courses we need to do. And after that mandatory courses, they gave me the Databricks training courses. They gave me 25 days of time. There are some 4 training videos, each consisting of 5 to 6 hours. So along with them, I need to do Databricks, and they give all the permissions, and they need to give me all the permissions and all for the Databricks and Visual Studio and GitHub also. After giving permissions, they give us assignments. So I need to complete the assignments and give it to them. That means I completed my Databricks training, and they will give you work according to the technology if they meet or not. So before giving SSIS, they ask me if I know, I know SSIS. And also you will prepare system design documents. Documentation is very important. They will have the company specific templates for system design documents. And in that you will describe all what you have done. How do you do your deployments, and what are the transformations you have made? What is the source tables? What are destination tables? And what is error handling? And what are the issues you face? How did you solve and all? And through Zendesk, we are getting production tickets. I have solved up to 4 to 5 production tickets. Weekly once we will get one production tickets.
Okay. And what is there in a ticket like?
In production, like we have one a dimension customer table, like a local employee table. So who are the employees of my company, and like they have some policies and all. They take some insurance, right? Company give us some insurance. What's the type of insurance? What is the role? Who is the manager? We have some 10 to 50 columns in that. So sometimes the employees information is loaded improperly. It's not loaded correctly. So we get a request from analytics team that this needs to be corrected, and then we give us like what are the dates, what are changes that needs to be made. For that, we have a stored procedure. So one person create a stored procedure.
Okay.
So in that, we need to give the data, and we need to first run the stored procedure with rollback option, so that we have some log tables in between. We have some log tables; those will be updated, and it will show us the output of the data. If we are okay with output, if the updation is proper, then we need to comment the rollback, and we need to run the stored procedure with commit option. So right now I solved that one ticket, and one more ticket was they don't want some data in the view. They wanted that 2 3 rows to be deleted from the view. Analytics team.
Yes, it's
Pardon me.
uh, I just wanted to know, like, at what activity or in what activity you feel like there is some difficulty, or what was the most, difficult kind of activity for you?
A difficult kind of situation means it depends. See, they gave me one ticket day before yesterday. It took one whole day for me. Like it took half day for me to understand, because it's a complex view. If you want to delete a row from a normal view, then we can
Mm-hmm.
directly use a delete command.
Yeah.
In that row gets written the view and as well as a source table. But here what happens is that view is made up of complex. It's a complex view because they have used some joins in that. They're using some 3 to 4 tables.
Mm-hmm. And they join them.
Yeah, and they join them in a creative view. They use one more view also, and they use 4 to 5 tables. Now, directly I cannot delete it, right? So, what do I need to do? I need to understand there is some in the view. I need to go to the view, and that view they're unioning the data with one more view. So, in that view, I went, and there are some 4 to 5 tables. So, I need to analyze the 4 to 5 tables and the way in which the view is created, and what data is being joined to what. I need to understand that, and after that I need to identify the right table in which I need to delete that particular row. But the thing is, we are getting these type of requests very frequently. If we are going on deleting the rows, then what will happen at the end of the day? After some time, they will again come back. We want the data. Then we can't do anything. We can't get the data, right, because all deleted. So what was the solution given by me is, I said that as in the view we join 2 3 tables. With what we will join? We are joining with employee ID and manager ID. If we make the employee ID null and manager ID null, and update in the table, then that particular record will be seen in the view, but in the Power BI, that particular record won't be there. So I suggested a solution like that, so that the data won't be there in the Power BI dashboard, but in the source tables, that particular data will be there. So the manager was happy with that, and we implemented that solution. So
Yeah.
you can tell this as a complex situation.
Mm. Right, right, right.
You understood, right, everyone?
Yeah, yeah, got it.
And also, you can tell the interviews that we prepared the system design documents also.
Pardon, what sort of documents? How?
system design documents. In every company is a PMO, right? Project management. So what
Yeah.
they have is they have some system design documents we need to prepare. Each company has their own templates. So they will give us the template. What is
Okay.
instruction and what is the goal of a project?
With all the
System.
instructions and
What is the future system?
procedure. Yeah.
Yeah,
SOP.
yeah, what is the source, what is the destination, what are the transformations you are making, if you are changing the store procedure, updating the store procedure, what are you updating, because they have cab meeting. If there any updating, so if there any update is happening, the manager will have a cab meeting. So if there is a project, as I said, that they're upgrading from one SFTP to one more SFTP, so what
Mm.
will happen is they're upgrading it. And before to that, I added two extra columns for 2 3 tables. They needed those columns. So directly in production table, I can't go and alter the tables and alter the views and all. So what I
Mm.
need to do first, I need to do the documentation. What am I going to do? I need
Yeah.
to convince my manager. I need to convince my analytics team manager, and then my manager will go to the cab, and then he needs to get approval. So the cab will read my document, and then they will give the approval. Okay, this change is required, and this change can be implemented in the production tables.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So this is one process happening in this is one process happening. Yes, Shiva.
Production issue you were talking about, like the last part, like the complex task which Rohit asked about.
Oh, about the views.
Yeah, you said like you implemented something like.
So actually, I got a production ticket from analytics team that in one there is one view through which they're generating some Power BI reports. So in that view, they don't need for an employee, they want to delete one row, and for that particular employee, they have 30 rows. So they
Okay.
don't want one row because that is a duplicate row. And for one more employee also, they don't want one particular row. He had 32 rows. They want to delete that particular row. So if it's a normal view, we can directly delete in a view so that the record will be deleted in the source table also. But now it's a complex view. It is made up of some 3 to 4 tables. So what I need to do, I need to go to the view and understand from which tables they are generating a view and what are the joins they are using and what is the original source table from which we are getting that data. So I need to identify that. And if I go on deleting my source table rows, at the end of the day, when the management comes and asks, or when the analytics team needs back the data, I can't give it to them, technology team. So what I did is, like I updated they were joined the tables with employee ID and manager ID. So if I make my manager ID and employee ID null, then that particular record won't be updated, won't be there in Power BI dashboards.
Yeah.
That record will be there in the view with null values. Manager ID will be null and employee ID will be null. But that won't be there in the Power BI dashboard because Power BI dashboard, they don't take null values.
Yeah.
So from the source table, we are not deleting the record. We are maintaining the information. But to the analytics team at their dashboard, the data is there for them. So both are served. Source table data is there and the Power BI dashboard, that record is not there.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And I have one more question. So, what are the activities you do in different stages of bronze, silver, and gold layers?
Like in the bronze layers, what we do is right now we have one project where we are migrating the data. So there are some 20 to 25 tables. In the bronze layer, we are directly reading the data.
Okay.
And also there are some store procedures which we have used. So that daily we will use the merge command in that and the incremental load because the job will be scheduled daily. There will
Yeah.
be daily updates. So in bronze layer, what we're doing, we are cleaning the data. Or suppose we are getting the input data date format in one format, but the analytics team doesn't want the date to be in that particular format. They want it in different format. So that changes we do, and we check up for the null values. We clean the data and we do some aggregations in that bronze layer. And finally, what we do is we create a view in the like we are creating some views in the gold layer.
Okay. And in the silver layer?
In the silver layer, we are doing data cleaning, removing null values and
Okay,
dates,
okay. Got it.
the needs, and aggregating the data. Like we are joining tables and all.
Okay. And are these not using Azure Data Factory, right? As you said, you're using SSIS direct jobs. Is that right?
SSIS jobs we are using, but slowly we are moving to data factor, like Databricks. Sorry, not factor. Databricks, Delta Lakehouse they are building.
Okay.
Yes, Srinivas.
Uh, I have a like a small question. So, what are the activities like steps you do in data cleaning? Like, how do you identify that there is a like a difference in the source data and the data you're migrating, and how do you clean them
Like
daily?
directly, see if it is a Databricks scenario, for bronze layer, we are as it is loading the data into the bronze layer. It's a raw data. So whatever the data they are sending to us, we're directly uploading it to bronze layer. When it comes to silver layer, it will be date formats. So client sends in one format, but analytics team needs in another format. So that format we are changing date formats. And sometimes the client what they will do, if they have no data, they will leave it as empty space. But analytics team they don't want empty space. They want null values in that. So we generate null values for empty spaces, and we do L trims and R trims. They have spaces in between. For suppose if first name is there, last name is there, there are too many spaces with the two names, and so we use L trim and R trim for cleaning the spaces.
Okay, okay, Susheela, thank you.
Yeah. So aggregations is important. Data cleaning much right now we don't have because client is sending is almost good format. Aggregations are very important. So you need to understand which tables need to be joined to which table in order to get the right data. So that you need to sit and analyze.
Uh, Susheela, you said like you are getting some forms and client information surveys. So is that also in tablet format or is it coming in JSON?
Which one?
You said like insurance, they have some forms and surveys. So
The
you're using
forms
that
and
here.
forms are not being to send to us. They are being sent to
Okay.
customers
Okay. Okay.
for the feedback. But the information which we are getting from third parties in the CSV file only.
Okay.
We
Okay.
never got in JSON.
Okay.
So you mentioned that aggregations are very important in part of the data cleaning process, right? So can
Yeah.
you give an example or two on what sort of aggregations you are doing? Any example?
Like
Please.
example means like suppose we have 10 tables, right? So out of 10 tables, the analytics team will give us like we need these columns. So we need to identify which column is coming from which table, whether we need to do right join or left join, and by which
Okay.
column name we need to use group by.
Okay.
And also in between what we will do, we will filter the data according to the dates. Like we use get date minus one. So we use that and we get the data,
Mm-hmm.
and frequently we use with CTs. We create lot of common table expressions.
Mm-hmm.
So intermediate tables will be so many we'll be generating so many intermediate tables. So through that intermediate tables only we will understand from which table we're getting which column and till which date we want. Mostly we will be using get date minus one.
Mm-hmm.
And we are using so many joins like left joins or something, and mostly we are using left join only. I still till now I didn't use right join.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to know which tables are to be left join on what condition, because for our tables we don't have primary key and foreign key.
Mm-hmm.
So then we need to understand which is the key column by which we are joining the tables.
Mm-hmm.
So right now in the project, what we did is we are generating some hash value
Mm-hmm.
using the SHA-2 function. We have a SHA-2 function. It
Mm-hmm.
generates the hash value. So what we are doing is we are combining some columns which are important, and we are using the SHA-2 value. What the hash function does is, suppose there are columns A, B, C, D, and if you are applying the SHA function for the four columns,
Mm-hmm.
if the values are same for four columns, it will generate the same hash value. For
Okay.
suppose A, B, C is same and D is different, then the hash value will change. So
Mm-hmm.
in that while doing the joins, we are joining on hash value function, hash value.
Okay.
So that and all we need to analyze and we need to come up with a solution by ourselves. No one will be there to help.
Okay.
So we need to sit and see the tables and you need to do lots of analyzation work.
Understood.
And you need to know how to write stored procedure with CTs. It is very important. After going into the real time, you have so many stored procedures and so many subqueries and so many CTs. Already, they will write the stored procedure. So we need to sit and analyze, and if there is any upgradation, that will be given to juniors. So if we understand the present only, we can do any upgrade of that code.
Yeah, got a good idea on that. Thank you, Susheela.
Yeah.
Did you face any issues with the when jobs fail? What are the issues you generally get?
Yeah, for us, so many times job fail. The job fail because in SSIS, what will happen? The destination tables we are creating, right? So for suppose there is one column, the customer's comment. So what will happen? For that particular column, we will give around 4 to 5,000 characters of value. So what the customer, if he writes a comment which is beyond 4 to 5,000, if he writes at least one character more also, then that is a status for error in SSIS. So it won't take. That will throw an error. So what is solution? I have increased twice, but then it's still increasing. Then instead of that, what I did is instead of selecting the unique code, there will be the data formats in SSIS also. Then we need to take text stream in that data type. Text string means there is no limit. There is there is up to 10,000 characters.
Okay.
That is one of the error. And in SFTP, as I told that there is old version, new version of SFTP. So there is one version of SFTP, other version also. So what will happen is sometimes the version of WinSAP also will change at the client side. So that will also throw an error in the case of SFTP. Because our side, we need, in the job which is scheduled, in that there is a version of WinSAP and the client side WinSAP, one more version is there. So at our side, we need to go and update our version. So that is one more error.
Okay.
And sometimes the job fails because it tells that there is no space on the server. That happened to me twice. So then I need to connect to my manager, discuss with him, and he will give the time. Okay, at this time there are too many jobs running, so there is no space for our job. Then he will discuss with analytics team, and even they also need to push their Power BI refresh, and we need to push our job so that our job has some space in the server.
Susheela, can you tell me what will your day look like?
Yeah, so actually we are not following any Scrum. We don't have Scrum. We are following only PMO right now. So for me, with every Monday, I have one-to-one call with my manager. So we'll ask me, how is the company, how you're feeling? And if you have any doubts or any queries or if we are stuck anywhere, he will clear everything. He will ask and clear our doubts and everything. And on Tuesday, we have stand-up meeting with the manager. So we have a smart sheet dashboard. So in that it will be written how many projects are given and what is the progress of our work, whether it is 80%, 20%, 10%, or 100%. And the different colors given to green, blue, and red. If it's completed, it's green. If it is not completed, it's red. If blue means we're on the way. So he will open the dashboard and discuss about the projects. Like each one is there in multiple projects, not one project. So for each project, he will ask what is your update till where are you? Why it is 80%? Why only it is 70%? When you will come, he will ask all that sort of questions for our team. And in between, we have meetings with the project, like whichever project we're involved. So we'll be having meetings with them. And we need to check the mails daily and do our work. That's it. If you're telling that you have a Scrum model, then you can tell that daily we have a Scrum call.
Okay,
And
Susheela.
right now we don't have Scrum method. And also daily, I have to check the Zendesk. If you have any tickets, if it is related to our technology team, then mostly manager will assign the Zendesk tickets. Whoever is free, he will assign the tickets. So we will then that is the priority, because Zendesk is a production tickets, so we need to solve them. We have SLAs of that, so we need to solve them immediately. So in that case, if you don't understand what is the information given Zendesk is not enough, then you can approach the people who forward Zendesk tickets to Teams or mails and get some information. They will tell you.
Okay.